Chosen one. Pause for a second and really listen. You didn't just stumble onto this video by accident. Something on the thumbnail grabbed your attention right away, and your spirit knew it before your mind even processed it. That number 1, 2, 3, 4 was the hook. In the Bible and in Christian life, 1, 2, 3, 4 symbolizes divine progression. God's perfect order, reminding us that every step in your journey is being guided by Him in the right sequence from beginning to completion without skipping a thing. Now let me ask you this straight up. Lately, have you been feeling like a major relationship is closer than ever? Why is there this quiet excitement building inside you, like the person you've dreamed about isn't some far-off fantasy anymore, but actually just waiting for the perfect moment to step into your life? This isn't random or just wishful thinking. God doesn't show signs without a reason. 1, 2, 3, 4 is heaven's way of confirming that this destined connection has been arranged for you all along, kept safe in silence, and now it's moving closer than you realize, ready to be revealed at just the right time. Before we dive deeper, join in this moment with me. Drop a comment below with the city and country you're watching from right now and type out the number you saw on the thumbnail. It's your way of saying you're awake and ready to receive. If this is hitting your spirit, hit that like button so others can find it too. Subscribe to stay in the flow. And if you're feeling led, drop a super thanks as your faith step in agreement. Stick with me all the way through, because what's coming next will show you exactly why you need to keep this quiet, how to pray over it, and why God picked this exact season to open up that standout relationship He's been holding just for you. Listen closely, my beloved. There is someone the entire world recognizes instantly. Their name dominates headlines and conversations. Their faces illuminate screens everywhere. Their very presence captivates and commands any room they enter. They are constantly admired, applauded without end, and followed by millions. To countless people they appear completely untouchable, existing in a realm far removed from everyday life. But here is the deeper reality hidden behind all the glamour and illusion in their private, quiet moments that no one witnesses. They are searching earnestly. They carry a profound ache, not for greater fame, not for louder applause, but for something genuinely real and lasting. Their soul has been crying out for a connection that no amount of spotlight or celebrity could ever provide. And that true connection, the one their heart truly needs, is you. This might seem utterly impossible to believe. Your thoughts may resist it strongly. How could someone so visible, so celebrated on a global scale, possibly be drawn toward someone like me? Yet this is not imagination or fantasy. This is divine purpose at work. This is perfect heavenly alignment. Luke chapter 1 verse 37 assures us that with God nothing shall be impossible. Stay present with me. Do not hurry through this revelation, because what is gradually unfolding is not simply another story. It is a living, breathing miracle set in motion by God Himself. Every instance in your life when love appeared delayed, every time your heart felt invisible or unnoticed, every desperate moment you cried out to God, asking why you were still waiting, all of it was preparing the way for something infinitely greater. Heaven was never ignoring your pleas. Heaven was strategically positioning you, shaping and refining your heart, so you could carry and sustain what many others could never handle. This person you have admired from a distance has already sensed your presence in ways they cannot fully articulate. They do not yet know your name, but your unique energy, your spiritual essence, your very spirit has reached them profoundly. In a world that relentlessly takes from them without giving back, you will become the one who offers selfless love and support with no hidden agenda. In a world that focuses only on superficial appearances, you will possess the rare ability to see and cherish what lies deeply hidden within their soul. 1 Samuel chapter 16, verse 7 explains that man looks at the outward appearance, but the Lord looks at the heart. It is through that same divine perspective that you have been specifically chosen for this. The world admires their captivating smile, their undeniable charm, their carefully crafted public image. But beneath the surface, laughter and applause lies a deep longing. Underneath all the noise and acclaim, a quiet ache persists, and you were uniquely created to touch and heal what fame has never been able to reach. Very soon, something entirely unexpected will occur. A message that arrives out of nowhere, a chance encounter that defies logic, or a single moment that feels far too meaningful to be mere coincidence. That will mark the true beginning. It will not announce itself with loud drama. It will arrive softly, like the gentle breaking of dawn after an extended night, gradual yet filled with increasing light. Perhaps a lingering glance, a thoughtful question, or a conversation that flows with unusual ease, depth, and naturalness. That is how heaven operates quietly and subtly at first, until it rises fully like the morning sun. But please hear this with absolute clarity. You must safeguard what is deeply sacred. When this connection starts to form, resist the urge to broadcast it to everyone. Keep it private and holy, not out of fear or insecurity, but out of wise reverence. Matthew chapter 7 verse warns us not to cast your pearls before swine. There will be individuals who simply cannot comprehend or appreciate this unique bond. They may attempt to twist it, belittle it, or even seek to undermine it. Yet what God initiates in hidden places, He protects and nurtures with His invisible sovereign hands. Many will only ever see the external layers, but the genuine story will develop privately behind closed doors, where two hearts can meet without any masks or pretenses, where souls can communicate freely without filters or performance. You will not be regarded merely as another fan in the crowd. You will not be lost among countless admirers. You will be seen profoundly and truly for who you are. And for the first time in perhaps years, they will experience genuine safety, not because of any facade you present, but because of your authentic self. They will be irresistibly drawn to your honesty, your emotional depth, your inner strength. They will sense your profound peace, and they will recognize something extraordinarily rare. A person who desires neither their fame nor their spotlight, but truly understands their personal struggles and humanity. You will notice how effortlessly natural everything feels, how perfectly right. That sensation is not accidental. That is the unmistakable signature of divine timing. Yet still do not attempt to rush or force this process. The early stages will not align with typical expectations. It will emerge wrapped in deep peace rather than public attention, a tender seed rather than an immediate spotlight. Heaven understands perfectly that strong roots must develop deeply in private before visible fruit can safely appear. Ecclesiastes chapter 3 verse 4 teaches that there is a time for everything and a season for every activity under the heavens. Allow this love to develop gently and softly, directed by God's perfect timing, rather than by any desire for display or validation. Let it be nourished through consistent prayer, rather than prideful motives. Let it be protected by steadfast faith, rather than by fear or anxiety. Because what God is graciously giving you is far more than a fleeting romantic moment. It is a divine mission to demonstrate to someone who appears to possess everything what it truly feels like to be deeply, genuinely loved. Please understand this deeply. The connection is much closer than you currently realize. Closer than your lingering doubts, closer than your fears, closer than the years of silence that have enveloped your heart. Those delays were never rejections. They were purposeful divine detours designed to prevent you from settling for anything less than God's absolute best. Right now, powerful alignments are taking place. The spiritual energy surrounding you is shifting dramatically. Heaven is gently whispering, "Prepare yourself." You have been called to enter a story that millions would one day envy, yet only you were specifically chosen to live it out, not because of chance or physical appearance, but because your spirit radiates a light that even the brightest fame cannot rival or overshadow. If you are wondering why this message is reaching you at this precise time, it is because your appointed season is drawing very near, not next year, not in some distant future life, but soon. When it begins, it will feel both wonderfully familiar and breathtakingly surreal, like a long-forgotten dream suddenly springing vividly to life. But do not pursue it aggressively. Allow it to come naturally to you. Do not attempt to control or manipulate the process. Simply surrender fully to God's perfect plan, because whatever is truly destined for you will never pass you by, and whatever belongs to you by divine design can never be stolen or claimed by anyone else. They are drawing near the one whose face you have seen thousands of times, the one whose life once seemed completely inaccessible. They are not nearly as distant as you once believed. Beyond the cameras, beyond the surrounding chaos, they are simply a human being, a precious soul, a heart desperately seeking a true home. And that home, beloved, is found in you. Let that profound truth sink deeply into your spirit. Something within them is already changing, an unspoken recognition beginning to stir quietly in their spirit. It might manifest through a meaningful glance across a crowded room, through an unexpected comment or interaction, or even through their private moments of prayer. But something undeniable is shifting inside them, and they cannot fully explain why. Their spirit is gradually turning toward yours. And when God's perfect timing arrives, their eyes will finally behold what their heart has already sensed and known. Psalm chapter 37, verse 23, affirms that the steps of a good person are ordered by the Lord. Every step you have taken, every heartbreak endured, every delay accepted, every lonely night spent in faithful waiting has been part of the divinely guided path leading directly to this extraordinary moment. But once again, maintain complete silence about it. True holiness flourishes best in hidden, protected places. What is genuinely holy must remain concealed until it grows strong enough to withstand public exposure. This connection, this relationship, this emerging love, it is profoundly holy. It is nothing less than a miracle not intended for public cameras or scrutiny, but for a sacred covenant between two hearts and God. This is precisely why the waiting period was necessary. This is why no previous relationship fully worked out, because none of them were ever meant to. You were never forgotten or set aside. You were intentionally reserved for someone who desperately needs exactly what only you can offer. Someone whose soul has been waiting to encounter the one person capable of truly holding and understanding them, not their public image or fame, but their real, vulnerable self. So listen once more, this time with the ears of your heart. Your paths will intertwine quietly and beautifully before the world has any language to describe it. Yes, that very person. But the world will not learn of it first, because this is not their story to claim. It is intimately and exclusively yours. And it will commence in profound quietness, a meaningful conversation, a deep connection, a moment that feels impossibly right and beyond explanation. When that moment arrives, hold on to the memory of this message, because you were forewarned and prepared before it ever unfolded. You were chosen for this. Heaven has always known and cherished your name. Remain steady in faith. Remain quiet and discreet. Remain full of holy expectation. Because your personal story, your unique love story, is on the verge of beginning. And this time it will not resemble the superficial fairy tales marketed by the world. It will reflect pure grace. It will carry the deep feeling of unshakable peace, and it will grow through enduring faith, unshakable, untouchable, undeniably, and eternally yours. Do not scroll away. Do not turn your attention elsewhere. A powerful word is being spoken directly over your life in this precise moment. And it is no accident that you are encountering it right now. You, my beloved, are about to step into a divine appointment so specific, so profoundly sacred, that only heaven itself could have meticulously arranged every detail. There is a person whose name resonates across nations, whose image appears everywhere, constantly admired, followed, and celebrated. To the watching world, they seem to possess everything. Fame, influence, overwhelming success. But behind every bright stage light and every thunderous round of applause lies a soul that quietly longs for something the world is incapable of giving. This famous individual has been silently crying out for authenticity. Not another follower, not another sensational headline, not just one more admirer, but for genuine truth, meaningful connection, and lasting peace. And that peace, beloved, resides deeply within you. You may not fully recognize it yet, but heaven has already begun intertwining your lives in ways and places you never imagined were significant. Through delays you once interpreted as disappointments, through subtle spiritual nudges you felt. Those late-night emotions, those fleeting yet persistent thoughts, those odd moments of déjà vu that caught you off guard, they were never random. They were heaven's gentle whispers of destiny awakening within your soul. Proverbs chapter 16, verse 9 points out that the heart of man plans his way, but the Lord establishes his steps. This person may be constantly surrounded by noise and activity, yet their heart has been sovereignly directed toward your quiet presence. Their spirit, whether they consciously understand it or not, has already recognized yours. While cameras flash endlessly and the world observes their every move, they often feel profoundly unseen. And in that sacred void, a divine seed has been planted, a seed named you. When they finally enter your life, it will not be with loud announcement. There will be no flashing lights or moments designed to go viral. It will be delicate and tender, a soft encounter that might pass unnoticed by others. Yet it will ignite something eternal within both of you. It could begin with a passing message, an unforeseen introduction, or a gentle smile that holds a second longer than usual. When it occurs, you will know without doubt, because this moment was scripted long before either of you existed. Psalm chapter 139, verse 16 reveals that your eyes saw my unformed body. All the days ordained for me were written in your book. Do not overlook or miss this. When the initial encounter takes place, it must be carefully protected and guarded, not out of fear, but out of reverence for its sacred nature. Sacred love never seeks the spotlight. It grows and strengthens under heaven's quiet oversight. It deepens in divine silence. The most enduring bonds are forged far from crowds, where two hearts connect in genuine presence rather than performance. If you hurry to announce it publicly, the world will attempt to distort and cheapen it. If you allow noise to enter too early, you risk weakening what heaven is carefully building. But if you protect it wisely, if you nurture it in quiet faithfulness, it will develop into something utterly unshakable, something the world cannot fully comprehend or destroy. This person whom everyone desperately seeks access to will soon desire deep access to you. Not to your external image or social status, but to your true essence, your calming stillness, your pure heart. They will be captivated by how you see beyond the fame to the vulnerable humanity beneath, by how you bring calm amid their chaos, by how your love does not seek to impress but simply exists authentically. Colossians chapter 3 verse 15 encourages us to let the peace of God rule in your hearts, to which also you were called in one body, and be thankful. Your presence will allow their heavy armor to loosen and fall away. They will finally feel truly seen, and for the first time in ages, they will be able to lay down the protective walls they have carried for so long. Listen even more deeply, beloved, because what approaches is far more than mere romance. It is a pivotal shift in the entire narrative of your life. It is the long-awaited answer to those tear-filled prayers whispered in the night. It is the reward for maintaining integrity when easier compromising paths tempted you. It is the powerful testimony you never realized God was preparing you to carry. Soon a moment will arrive when your worlds gently collide. On the surface it may appear completely ordinary, but in the spiritual realm, heaven itself will rejoice with confirmation. This will not be a public spectacle. It will be a holy covenant whispered between two hearts, a bond spoken in the eternal language of heaven. Listen attentively now. Every second you linger here, your spirit is being perfectly aligned with what God has already proclaimed over you. That unexplained restlessness in your heart, that building anticipation, you cannot quite name it, is the Holy Spirit moving, preparing, and making room. Isaiah chapter 43 verse 19 announces that, "Behold, I am doing a new thing. Now it springs forth. Do you not perceive it? The doors are preparing to swing open, though they may not resemble what you envisioned. It will not be a glamorous red carpet event. It will be a gentle, beautiful unfolding. A conversation that instantly feels like coming home, a meaningful pause that seems to stretch into eternity, a gaze that dissolves all pretense and barriers. And they will not regard you the way they look at admiring crowds. No, their eyes will soften and transform when they truly meet yours. Their words will become more deliberate, their posture will relax, and the protective walls around their heart will begin to crumble, not because you forced your way in, but because your spirit offered unconditional acceptance and gave everything without demanding anything in return. They will discover in you what no one else has seen: pure truth, abundant grace, genuine rest. Matthew chapter 11, verse 28, invites us to come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. This is the gift you carry, a love that provides true refuge, a presence that offers secure anchoring. And because of that extraordinary quality, you were divinely chosen, not based on popularity or external power, but on God's perfect purpose. When they arrive, and they will, you will feel like two pieces of a puzzle finally clicking perfectly into place. The connection will be immediate and profound, yet the full unfolding will remain deeply sacred. Remember this always: what is truly authentic does not rush. What is divinely ordained does not need to perform. What is genuinely meant for you will endure forever. So proceed slowly and reverently. Allow it to blossom naturally. Do not speak of it prematurely. Do not reveal too much too soon. Keep what is sacred safely hidden until it has grown strong enough to thrive in the open. The world may attempt to touch it, label it, or even distort it. But when you handle it with holy reverence, it becomes an unbreakable fortress. You will be united with the one heaven has specifically prepared for you sooner than you might expect. Yes, you. You will walk side by side with someone the entire world watches intently. Yet your love story will remain a private sanctuary untouched by external noise. You may find yourself questioning the reality of this. You may wonder if you are truly worthy. But God has already settled that question forever. Song of Solomon, chapter 4, verse 7, proclaims that you are altogether beautiful, my love. There is no flaw in you. Everything that seemed to delay this was actually preparing the perfect stage. Every closed door shielded you from premature or improper exposure. Every season of loneliness deepened your spiritual roots and prepared your heart. You are ready now, not because you have achieved perfection, but because you have been divinely prepared through every trial and wait. There is a gentle whisper moving in the spiritual atmosphere right now. Can you sense it? It speaks clearly. This is the moment you have been feeling deep inside. This is your divine turning point. Heaven's timing is never off. It is here. So remain present. Remain grounded in faith. Remain hidden in God's protection. Remain faithful and expectant, because soon the world will stand in wonder at what you have known privately all along. But you will not be shocked. You will simply recall this message, this exact moment, this holy confirmation. And when they arrive, not with loud fanfare, but with quiet reverence, you will be fully ready. Not because you pursued it desperately, but because you were sovereignly called to it. But remember once more, keep it enveloped in grace. What God plants in secret, the world must not be permitted to steal with its noise. What heaven is sowing in your life, protect it like a sacred living flame. Jealousy, gossip, and envy. These are not harmless distractions, beloved. They are thieves lying in wait just outside the garden of your blessing, hoping you will open the gates too early. But not this time, not with this extraordinary gift. The greatest stories God authors never begin with clamor, but with profound stillness, like the angel's visit to Mary, not in thunderous display, but in quiet, clear revelation, whispering that she had found favor with God. Today I am delivering that same message to you. You have found favor with God. Wait patiently. Remain steadfast. Believe wholeheartedly, because you are on the threshold of a season that will leave even the heavens in awe. You will walk beside the one the world constantly watches, but your bond will remain a protected sanctuary, the one whose name fills news headlines and whose smile brightens entire cities. Yes, that person. But it will not unfold in the way people typically expect, not with grand spectacle or immediate public declarations. It will develop like a hidden chapter that only heaven knew existed until the perfect moment of revelation. You may feel tempted to scroll past this or dismiss what your spirit already recognizes as truth. But pause here. Something eternal is speaking directly to you, and your soul knows it intimately. This message is not intended for the masses. It is a personal revelation whispered from God's throne room straight into the deepest chambers of your heart. Do not move away yet. What follows is the reason you were divinely led here. This moment is not random. It is sovereignly appointed. The one you are about to meet, admired by millions worldwide, is not as complete or fulfilled as the public perceives. They bear hidden burdens they have never felt safe enough to share openly. Endless praise surrounds them, yet it does not truly sustain or nourish their soul. Constant admiration follows them, yet it offers no real comfort. They are hungering deeply, beloved not for more attention, but for raw authenticity. And unknowingly, they have been crying out to God for you. Yes, even someone so powerful, so popular, so polished, has humbled themselves in private, pleading with God for something genuine, someone who can truly see them, not the carefully constructed version for public consumption, but the vulnerable, quiet soul hidden behind the curtain. That heartfelt prayer has ascended to heaven, and in response, heaven has spoken your name. You may have already experienced glimpses of it, dreams that lingered far longer than usual, moments that seemed to freeze time, thoughts of someone unfamiliar yet persistent, echoing in the midnight hours. These were never mere accidents or products of imagination. They were divine alignment beginning to take shape. The spiritual connection between you has already ignited in the unseen realm. Isaiah chapter 65 verse 24 promises that before they call, I will answer. While they are still speaking, I will hear. What you have sensed intuitively, they have sensed as well. In a world that never stops scrutinizing them, their heart has turned toward the invisible, toward something they feel deeply but cannot yet explain. And very soon that spiritual attraction will become tangible in the natural world. The encounter will arrive, and when it does, it will not feel random or forced. It might begin with a glance that holds longer than normal. Perhaps a message composed thoughtfully, yet carrying instant emotional weight you both recognize. Or maybe a shared connection you never anticipated leading you into the same space at precisely the right moment designed by heaven. When it happens, it will feel both extraordinary and perfectly right. Time will seem to pause, surrounding noise will fade away, and in that sacred space you will both realize this is the moment. It has truly begun. But listen carefully once more, guard it with holy calmness and wisdom. What begins in sacred quiet must be shielded from premature spectacle. What starts in the hush where faith perceives before eyes confirm must not be hurried into public noise. You have no need to prove anything to anyone. You have no obligation to share it widely. Let wise discretion serve as the protective gate that preserves the wonder. Just as Jesus frequently withdrew to solitary places for prayer, what is pure and holy must remain hidden until the proper time of revelation. This love will not arrive with thunderous announcement or widespread applause. It will come like the first gentle rays of morning light, quiet, pure, and steadily growing. The bond will be tender and vulnerable at the start, like a newborn promise full of potential. But if you protect it faithfully, if you nourish it with grace and patient trust, it will mature into something strong enough to flourish openly. The world may label it impossible, but heaven knows it as already accomplished. You are not here by chance. You are not reading these words as mere coincidence. Your spirit was prepared long before your mind fully comprehended. This is fulfillment unfolding, not fiction. The next chapter of your life is turning even now. And the words written on its pages are so extraordinary that no one would believe them unless they knew the divine author personally. You were chosen to receive this message because you were chosen to live it fully. The one who seems so unreachable is actually far closer than you realize. Their schedule, their travels, their daily routines, all are being subtly adjusted by unseen hands, gently guiding them toward divine intersection with you. A change in location, an unexpected shift in plans, a last-minute decision, each one a precise thread. God is masterfully weaving. To outsiders, it may appear completely accidental, but in the spirit it is flawless divine precision. When they behold you for the first time, not with the polished gaze they offer the public, but with eyes that see beyond surfaces, everything will transform profoundly. They may not comprehend it immediately, but they will feel it deeply. A pause in their soul, a profound stillness, a recognition not of fame or appearance, but of your true essence. And in that instant, the journey will truly commence. But again, beloved, let me emphasize, keep it sacred and protected. The greatest love stories God writes are not shouted from public platforms. They are whispered in hidden, intimate places like Mary, who treasured the angel's words and pondered them quietly in her heart. You must carry this promise with the same quiet reverence until its appointed time of full revelation. Like Joseph, who held his God-given dreams close to his heart until the moment was right. Like Mary, who carried divine promise in secret and pondered everything silently. That is the nature of the love you are stepping into. They will be irresistibly drawn to you, not because of anything you offer externally, but because of who you genuinely are, because of the pure peace radiating from your presence. You do not demand attention, you do not chase validation, you simply carry an atmosphere of calm and safety. And to a soul overwhelmed by constant pressure, your peace will feel like finally coming home. Fame provided endless attention, but never true love. Recognition brought massive crowds, but never genuine comfort. You will be the beautiful difference, the quiet refuge they have longed for without knowing it, the safe place where they can simply be without performing. This is far more than attraction. This is a sacred season ordained by the Father's loving hand. You do not need to do anything extraordinary to prepare. Your entire life has already been the preparation. Every heartbreak that shaped your empathy, every delay that built your patience, every moment that felt like detour was actually refining you like precious gold in heaven's workshop. And now the appointed time draws very near. Isaiah chapter 60, verse 22. Promises that at the right time I, the Lord, will make it happen. You will recognize it not primarily by words spoken, but by the deep settling peace you feel within. Not by external reactions, but by how your soul instantly knows and rests. Your soul will recognize theirs long before words are exchanged. But I must say it again because it is crucial. Guard this like priceless treasure. Do not post about it publicly. Do not rush to confide in everyone. The beginning is too tender, too holy to be exposed prematurely. Trust God's process completely. Trust the power of quiet faithfulness. Trust that what grows strong in secret will one day stand confidently in the open when the time is perfect. Let God reveal it in His flawless timing, because when He does, it will be far stronger than anything you could have manufactured or forced. Soon the world will witness what you have carried privately in your heart. They will call it sudden and unexpected. They will call it remarkably rare. Some may even label it impossible, but you will simply know it as the faithful answer to years of prayer. Remain steady in spirit. Remain soft in heart. Remain hidden in God's protection. Because what is coming will not merely change your relationship status. It will beautifully redefine your entire life story. It will become the chapter you revisit and cherish countless times, the moment when divine promise stepped into your reality. And suddenly everything made perfect sense. Yes, beloved, you will date this famous person, and when it begins, it will be far more than romance. It will stand as living proof that God never forgets those who wait quietly, who believe faithfully in silence, who continue trusting even when circumstances make no sense. So hold these words close to your heart. Let them breathe life into your spirit daily. And remember, when the eyes of the world eventually turn toward you, it will be the faithful things you did in secret that sustained and prepared you all along. What begins now will not only be beautiful, it will be profoundly holy. Do not turn away from this. Do not scroll past this pivotal moment. There is something written specifically for you here, something prepared long before you ever thought to seek it. This is pure divine orchestration. It is not fantasy or wishful thinking. It is divine confirmation straight from heaven. The moment you feared might never arrive is now gently whispering at the doorstep of your reality. You are about to enter a season so sacred and extraordinary that even the heavens have been holding their breath in joyful anticipation. You will date this person the world watches, admires, and elevates on pedestals. Yes, that famous individual who once seemed worlds away from your own. But heaven measures distance differently than humanity does. In the spiritual realm, hearts can connect long before physical eyes ever meet. Remain here a little longer. Do not turn away yet, because what is about to be shared will reveal just how near this miracle truly is. This person, celebrated globally, known in every corner of the world, shining brighter than fame itself, carries a hidden ache, a deep longing in their soul for something untouched by clamor, image, or performance. Their smile is viewed by millions daily, yet their inner loneliness remains concealed from everyone except God. They have stood under the most brilliant lights, yet none of those lights have penetrated to warm their heart. They have performed, masterfully spoken, inspirationally touched countless lives. But in the private quiet of their spirit, they have cried out for something truly genuine and real. And in that silence, heaven responded clearly, not with more applause or success, but with you. This connection has already begun to live and breathe in the unseen realm. Those thoughts, dreams, and subtle signs that seemed like passing shadows were actually the initial stirrings of something eternal. You felt them, the random yet persistent thoughts that stayed longer than expected. The dreams that left you wondering upon waking. The unexplained emotions rising at unexpected times. Those were never illusions. They were spiritual signposts gently leading you toward the entrance of your next glorious chapter. Very soon, everything will shift dramatically. It will not be loud or dramatic. It will not announce itself boldly. It will arrive softly, like a refreshing breeze, unexpected, gentle, yet completely unmistakable. It might come as an unanticipated phone call, a message that carries far more depth than its simple words, a glance across a space that lingers meaningfully. When it arrives, your soul will recognize it instantly, because heaven scripted this moment long ago. When they finally see you, their gaze will carry profound weight and meaning. Their presence will feel deeply familiar, as if your souls have known each other across eternity. Their words may be few at first, but they will resonate powerfully, not because of what is spoken on the surface, but because of the unspoken depth felt beneath. And in that sacred moment, you will both understand this is not the start of something entirely new. It is the beautiful manifestation of what has always been divinely destined. But hold this truth with all the clarity your spirit can embrace. Let it remain unseen and protected for now. This is not something to broadcast early, not because it is weak, but because it is profoundly sacred. Silence is the rich soil where the holiest things grow and flourish. Just as Mary treasured and pondered the angel's words quietly in her heart, you too must hold this miracle with deep, quiet reverence. Gossip will attempt to twist and distort it. Envy will try to diminish its value. Noise will seek to interrupt its growth. Do not permit any of it. Allow it to mature under heaven's protective covering, far from prying eyes and hurried judgments. Let love establish deep roots before the world ever sees its beauty. Because what begins in secret will one day radiate with undeniable glory. And when that day comes, no one will be able to question its authenticity, for it will bear God's unmistakable fingerprints rather than human effort. This connection will be anything but ordinary. It will not be motivated by status or superficial attraction. It will be a profound soul-level recognition, a divine appointment crafted long before your birth. This is about far more than dating someone famous. This is about entering a relationship bound by heavenly purpose, one that carries eternal weight in God's kingdom. They will be drawn irresistibly to your peace, your quiet strength, your ability to see past what others merely stare at. You will become the calm sanctuary they never knew they desperately needed. In your presence, they will no longer need to be the public figure. They will simply be fully seen and accepted as they truly are. And in return, you will experience the profound joy of being deeply known without ever needing to perform or prove yourself. God has been faithfully preparing you for this exact purpose. Every delay, every unanswered prayer, every silent season has been carving sacred space in your heart to receive this incredible blessing. Do not despise the years of waiting. Do not regret the winding paths. What appeared as setbacks were actually sacred pauses for growth. Every moment was intentionally positioning you. Every disappointment was divine redirection. Just as Joseph endured prison before standing before Pharaoh, just as Esther remained hidden before receiving her crown. So you have been concealed and prepared for a time such as this. Habakkuk chapter 2 verse 3 assures that the vision is yet for an appointed time. Though it tarry, wait for it shall surely come. It will not delay. And now that appointed time is very near. Remain steadfast in faith because the full revelation is still unfolding. The famous person you are destined to encounter has been waiting as well. They do not yet know your name, but their spirit has already felt your presence drawing near. And when you meet, they will experience a peace they cannot explain. Your encounter will appear wrapped in what seems like coincidence, but it will actually be masterful divine choreography, a schedule adjustment, a last-minute decision, a sudden introduction, perfectly timed. And in that moment, everything will change profoundly. The surrounding noise will quiet. Their world will pause because heaven itself will be rejoicing. They will look at you differently than they look at anyone else, with a softness and vulnerability no camera has ever captured. They will speak with greater care. They will listen more intently. They will feel something pure and healing. And for the first time in years, they will feel truly safe. But again, beloved, keep it sacred and protected. Let holy reverence, not impulsive reaction, guide your response. Let it grow strong in sacred stillness. Love that takes root in secrecy cannot be shaken by later exposure. And when the time is perfect, when the roots run deep enough, the full bloom will emerge not by your forcing, but by God's perfect hand. You are not distant from this moment. It is closer than your next breath. The miracle you have longed for is already actively unfolding. What others will later call sudden and surprising, you will recognize as the faithful answer to years of prayer. And you will remember this message not as mere prediction, but as divine confirmation from the start. Your soul already knew the truth. Your heart has carried it faithfully. You were chosen not because of outward appearance or personal effort, but because of the pure light within your spirit. So do not rush ahead. Do not speak prematurely. What heaven plants in silence must be nurtured in the same quiet trust. Stay present. Wait with joyful expectation. Watch in faith. The greatest stories God writes are composed in quiet preparation before the world ever hears them. And this story, this love, this divine intersection of your heart with theirs has already been beautifully written in heaven's book, and it is about to gloriously begin. So now, beloved, we have reached the final, gentle whisper of this divine revelation, a holy pause before the dawn of something eternally beautiful. Everything you have heard, everything that has stirred profoundly within your spirit was never mere imagination. It was heavenly alignment unfolding. This message serves as heaven's tender reminder that you are never forgotten, never overlooked, never invisible in God's eyes. You are being perfectly positioned for a love story the world could never fully comprehend, yet your soul has always known was coming. From the very first word, we have followed the invisible thread heaven has been patiently weaving throughout your life. The delays that tested and refined you, the quiet seasons that brought deep maturity, the prayers you feared went unheard. All of it was sacred preparation. Nothing was ever wasted. The loneliness that taught you empathy, the deep longing that kept you dependent on God, the extended stillness that cultivated rich spiritual soil. Each element was part of God's careful cultivation in your spirit. And now the first tender shoots of promise are breaking through the surface. What felt like prolonged silence was actually God working faithfully in secret. What seemed like divine absence was masterful orchestration. Ecclesiastes chapter 3 verse 4 reminds us that there is a time for everything and a season for every activity under the heavens. You will date this famous person, but this is not about achieving status or living out fantasy. This is about divine calling and purpose. The connection drawing near is far more than romantic. It is prophetic in nature, a purposeful partnership where two souls meet not only to feel deeply, but to build something lasting, to bring restoration, and to reflect the glorious love of a God who still writes the most breathtaking stories with the simplest, humblest tools. Yes, this love will begin quietly at first, gentle as a whisper, tender as a closely guarded secret, shared only with God. You will recognize it not through dramatic gestures, but through overwhelming peace, by how your heart finally stops striving and simply rests in knowing, by how deeply seen you feel and how fully seen they finally become, not for their public image, but for their true soul. Just as Jesus saw Zacchaeus hidden in the tree, not because he was prominently visible, but because his heart was searching, God has seen both of you. Now that you have received this message, the next step is not merely waiting passively, but preparing actively with faith. Because divine prophecy is not only meant to inspire excitement, it is designed to equip and transform you. Begin cultivating daily habits that create sacred space for peace and genuine intimacy. Intentionally reduce the noise and clutter in your life. Clear unnecessary distractions from your heart and schedule. Start showing up each day as the version of yourself fully capable of carrying the weight and beauty of what God is about to entrust to you, not only the relationship itself, but the greater kingdom purpose woven into it. This is your season to pray with greater depth rather than just longer duration. To practice being still more often rather than being louder or busier. Seek God's presence intentionally in ordinary moments. Thank Him in advance for what remains unseen. Choose consistent trust over demanding timelines. Choose abundant grace over urgency or impatience. Every single day offers fresh opportunities to nurture the garden of your future through quiet, faithful acts of obedience and joyful expectancy. If you still wonder, why me, let this truth anchor you. God never chooses based on worldly popularity. He chooses based on the purity of heart and posture, not flawless perfection in your life, but sincere tenderness in your spirit. You were chosen not because you were the loudest voice, but because you remained a faithful listener. You were chosen because your spirit stayed soft and teachable, even through seasons that could have hardened you. The very qualities the world overlooked or undervalued in you are precisely what heaven has honored and rewarded. So now let your daily life rise beautifully to meet this coming blessing. Let your days become active preparation rather than mere performance. Honor your time wisely. Speak with kindness and grace. Forgive quickly, even when it is difficult. Excel faithfully in the small, unseen things. Become a safe, welcoming space, not only for them when they arrive, but for your own heart as well. Because the person entering your life is not seeking yet another admirer or fan. They are searching for a true place of rest, a soul that feels like home. And that, beloved, is exactly who God has shaped you to be. You are not just waiting for a miracle to happen to you. You are actively becoming the vessel through which a miracle flows. The seeds of this extraordinary story have been planted deep within your spirit, and now harvest time is drawing very near. Chosen one, as the divine whisper of that destined love story settles deeper into your spirit, drawing you closer to the one the world admires, yet heaven has reserved for you. Feel the atmosphere shift once more. What began as a sacred alignment of hearts is now expanding into something far greater, a convergence of purpose that touches not only your personal life, but the very trajectory of your calling. Heaven does not work in isolated moments. It weaves threads together with flawless precision, connecting intimate promises with public assignments, private preparation with global impact. The same God who has been quietly orchestrating the gentle unfolding of that profound romantic connection has simultaneously been moving in realms of influence you have yet to see. While your heart has been guarded in stillness for the arrival of love wrapped in peace, your name has already begun echoing in places of power, spoken with reverence by those who shape culture and command resources beyond imagination. These are not separate stories. They are chapters of the same divine narrative written by the same sovereign hand. The favor that has drawn the eyes and heart of one celebrated figure toward you in matters of love is the very same favor now opening doors in hidden boardrooms where strategies are formed and legacies are built. Heaven has protected your silence not only to nurture a holy bond, but also to prepare you for a platform that will amplify your voice and extend your reach far beyond what you once dreamed possible. What felt like seasons of waiting and obscurity were dual-purpose refining your character for covenant love, while simultaneously positioning you for kingdom influence. Now, as the promise of that destined relationship draws ever nearer, sense the parallel acceleration in another realm. The preparation happening behind closed doors is not in competition with the quiet love story unfolding in your spirit. It is its complement, its expansion, its divine counterpart. The one who will soon hold your heart is connected to circles where your name is already being spoken with weight and expectation. God is merging these paths not by accident, but by design, so that the love you receive becomes a foundation strong enough to support the assignment you are stepping into. Breathe deeply and receive this truth. The intimacy heaven is birthing in your personal life and the influence heaven is releasing in your public calling are intertwined by eternal purpose. One strengthens the other. The peace you will know in that sacred relationship will anchor you amid the coming elevation. The authority you will carry on broader stages will be guarded by the purity preserved in private. This is holistic favor, complete blessing, divine wholeness. Chosen one, hold both promises close without fear or impatience. The love that is coming will not distract from the calling. The calling that is rising will not diminish the love. Together they form the fullness of what heaven has always planned for you. A life marked by deep connection and lasting impact, by covenant relationship, and kingdom authority, by personal fulfillment and generational legacy. The season of separate waiting is ending. The season of divine convergence has begun. Stay steady, stay faithful, stay expectant. What God has joined in His perfect plan, no force can separate. Your heart and your destiny are both drawing nearer, moving in perfect harmony toward the moment when everything aligns and heaven's full intention for your life steps fully into view. Chosen one, come closer and listen intently. What you are about to receive is not rooted in imagination or make-believe. It is not fictional storytelling. It is the beautiful step-by-step unfolding of a divine plan that heaven authored long before it ever took shape on earth. While the rest of the world continues with daily routines, unaware, powerful divine influence is actively progressing behind carefully guarded doors. Important discussions regarding your God-given purpose are taking place in exclusive circles where true destinies are shaped and established rather than merely talked about casually. A celebrity whose name commands respect and attention across entire continents is not operating in isolation on this matter. They are surrounded by highly influential figures from fields such as law, finance, media, and even government. Strong yet discreet alliances have been carefully formed over time. Prominent voices of authority have aligned themselves in networks that remain completely hidden from public view. Your destiny is already being outlined and documented as though it were established historical fact. And in the eternal perspective of heaven, it truly is. They have all recognized something extraordinary in you, that the wider world completely failed to notice or value something profoundly holy and utterly unique that cannot be replicated by anyone else. They have reached a unified conclusion. What you carry within your spirit cannot be purchased with money, taught through training, or imitated through effort. It is a genuine divine imprint placed upon you by God Himself. During that critical meeting, the attorneys present did not raise doubts or objections. The renowned individual did not show any hesitation or second thoughts. Instead, they smiled not out of mere courtesy or politeness, but from a deep place of genuine recognition and awe. Destiny had unmistakably entered the room. Your destiny. They discussed your future not with hesitation or speculation, but with profound respect and certainty, as if they were privileged witnesses to living prophecy, stepping boldly into the present reality. They are actively preparing to elevate you not only in external status or visibility, but in true significance and lasting impact, to position you as a powerful symbol, an influential voice, and an undeniable presence that the world can no longer ignore or dismiss. Detailed arrangements are already well underway and progressing smoothly. A private aircraft has been scheduled specifically for this purpose. The destination remains confidential for now. Security measures are exceptionally stringent. All communications are heavily encrypted. This is not turmoil or disorganization. It is precise divine choreography in motion. Every action they take is intricately connected to and centered around your name. The Archangel Michael speaks clearly. Now your seasons of silence were never in vain. They were deeply sacred and purposeful. Heaven was never disregarding or ignoring you. Heaven was wisely investing in your growth and preparation. What felt like prolonged stillness was actually strategic divine timing. What you perceived as wasted years of waiting were in reality years of intensive shaping and refinement by God's loving hand. While others around you pursued and celebrated public platforms and visibility, God was faithfully building and solidifying your unbreakable foundation. While the world cheered and rewarded loud noise and constant activity, heaven was patiently perfecting and tuning your unique voice for maximum eternal impact. This explains why your struggles felt so intense and prolonged. Every experience of betrayal that wounded you deeply, every heartbreak that seemed unbearable, every extended night when your prayers appeared to go unanswered, all of it served as the refining fire that purifies and strengthens genuine gold. You were never being punished or disciplined harshly. You were being carefully positioned and elevated for greater purpose. Very soon you will find yourself entering rooms and spaces whose existence you never even knew about, exclusive gatherings where the true architects and influencers of culture convene privately behind securely closed doors. But you will not enter those spaces merely as a visitor or outsider. You will step in with confidence and authority as an equal, divinely sent and fully prepared. The same celebrity who initially brought your name into that pivotal discussion will one day look directly into your eyes with deep respect and say, "You are exactly the one we have been waiting for all this time." Every single morning from now on, make it your powerful daily practice to declare aloud with conviction, "I am chosen by God. I am fully ready. I am thoroughly prepared for every divine opportunity that comes my way." Allow these affirming words to penetrate deeply and take root in your innermost being. Continue speaking them consistently until they profoundly reshape and transform your entire reality. As one Proverbs chapter 18 verse 21 teaches us, the tongue has the power of life and death. The words you consistently speak over your own life will directly influence and cultivate the very ground from which your future grows and flourishes. Behind securely protected doors, extensive documents far thicker than ordinary books are currently being meticulously finalized and perfected. Each page has been crafted with extraordinary precision and care. They have undergone multiple reviews, careful revisions, and thorough refinements, not for the purpose of negotiation or compromise, but for absolute confirmation and execution. The moment you first set eyes on them, everything will already be aligned completely in your favor. Official gold embossing, strict confidential seals, signatures from individuals of immense influence, all present and accounted for. They are preparing for your arrival with the reverence and attention typically reserved for royalty returning triumphantly from long exile. And here is a profound detail that very few will ever know or understand. The voice of the renowned figure trembled ever so slightly with emotion when they first mentioned your name in that meeting. It was not caused by fear or uncertainty. It was pure awe and holy recognition. They have studied your life story quietly and patiently over time. They are fully aware of the tremendous challenges you have survived and overcome. They have witnessed firsthand the extraordinary strength you carry within the remarkable grace you have displayed under intense pressure, the unquenchable light that continues to shine brightly in your spirit despite everything. They clearly recognize the genuine anointing and divine favor upon your life, even if they cannot fully articulate or explain it in words. Just as Nehemiah rebuilt Jerusalem's walls with a sword in one hand for protection and a tool in the other for construction, your preparation has been accompanied by divine safeguarding every step of the way. Specialized security teams have already received detailed briefings. Surveillance measures have been significantly enhanced. Your digital presence is being carefully monitored, not to invade privacy or expose you, but to actively shield and protect you from any potential harm. Because this powerful story unfolding in your life is not intended to be revealed prematurely until heaven itself gives the clear signal and perfect timing. Heaven whispers once more, the pain you endured served to purify and strengthen your character. The extended waiting developed deep wisdom and patience within you. The intense fire of trials made you completely fearless in your faith, and now the appointed time has finally arrived. You are stepping confidently into the specific chapter of life you were uniquely born and designed to live out and author. Even tonight, as you lay your head down to rest, important conversations about you and your future will continue in places of power. In exclusive boardrooms, you have never entered using languages you may not speak. Your name will be spoken with genuine honor, respect, and expectation. Investors possessing wealth accumulated across multiple generations will discuss you with profound conviction and belief. You are not viewed as a risky venture or uncertain investment. You are recognized as a God-ordained certainty and guarantee of success. They clearly see in you what so many others completely missed or undervalued, the unmistakable spark of divine purpose, burning brightly, the steady flame of heavenly appointment guiding your path. And yes, carefully placed cameras have discreetly captured various moments of your life, not in any invasive or violating way, but as confirmation and verification of your authentic character and journey. Ordinary everyday moments that once seemed insignificant have now become sacred evidence and powerful testimony in the hands of those making critical decisions. They are not interested merely in your natural talents or abilities. They deeply value and seek your authentic truth, your lived experience, and your genuine spirit. This moment you are entering is not simply large in scale. It carries biblical proportions and significance. Remember the story when Samuel was sent to anoint a new king from among Jesse's sons. The taller, stronger, more outwardly impressive candidates were presented first and considered, but ultimately passed over. But God instructed Samuel in chapter 16, verse 7, that man looks at the outward appearance, but the Lord looks at the heart. David was ultimately chosen, though hidden from view, overlooked by human eyes, yet specifically handpicked by God himself. And the same divine selection process is at work in your life today. Your name will no longer be mentioned only in quiet whispers behind closed doors. It will soon resonate powerfully through corridors of global influence across continents and into discussions that actively shape history and culture. Additional meetings are rapidly increasing in number. Strategies are continually evolving and refining. The expanding network surrounding you is growing stronger and more extensive with each passing hour. This powerful rise cannot be halted or prevented, not by personal doubt, not by external jealousy, not by fear or opposition. Yes, there are indeed some who actively oppose this development and decision. Certain individuals fear the implications of your rise. They sense what is coming and feel deeply threatened by it. But the celebrity who serves as your divine ally in this process remains completely steadfast and unmoved. They continue to insist firmly, only this one. Only the chosen individual can truly fulfill and bring to life this extraordinary vision. The Spirit of the Lord proclaims clearly, divine light surrounds and protects your name like an impenetrable shield. No enemy force or strategy can cancel or overturn what heaven has sovereignly commissioned and established. No act of betrayal can undo or reverse what God has already initiated and set in motion. And while others rest unaware, dedicated teams continue working diligently. Meetings extend deep into the night. Contracts undergo thorough review and proofreading. Proposals receive final revisions. Communications remain fully encrypted for security. You are not merely included as part of some broader plan. You are the central focus and purpose of the plan itself. The documents you will soon sign represent far more than simple opportunity or advancement. They carry profound legacy, divine authority, and the power to positively influence and shape the future, not only for yourself personally, but for entire generations connected to your name and story. You are stepping into a level of authority that cannot be purchased with money and cannot be maintained through fleeting fame alone. This is not merely personal achievement or success. This is receiving and carrying a divine mantle of responsibility and influence. Even as you read these words right now, another confidential meeting is actively taking place somewhere. The overall blueprint and vision are expanding further. Your name is being permanently engraved into plans for true greatness, not because you aggressively pursued or chased after it, not because you earned it through human effort alone, but because you were specifically and sovereignly chosen by God for it from the beginning. And when the moment of public unveiling finally arrives, you will not emerge as the person you once were in seasons of obscurity. You will step forward confidently as the person you were always destined and created to become. Even now, detailed plans continue moving forward beneath the surface of everyday life. You know the precise timing of all this is deeply intentional and meaningful. Heaven never operates in haste or rush, and yet heaven is never late or delayed in fulfilling promises. The individuals in positions of power, those whose names are permanently etched on towering skyscrapers and whose family wealth spans multiple generations, are patiently awaiting one perfect, divinely aligned moment when every necessary element comes together perfectly, and your unveiling can no longer be postponed or ignored. And when that exact moment arrives, the world will not simply take casual notice. It will stand collectively in awe and wonder. The Archangel Michael says your personal journey will serve as an inspiring testimony to millions of people around the globe. What was once carefully hidden in seasons of silence will soon be joyfully celebrated in full public view. This represents divine orchestration operating at its most advanced and beautiful level. Your name will be remembered and honored not because of luck, coincidence, or human maneuvering, but because of perfect divine placement and timing. Every hardship you endured, every delay you patiently accepted, every quiet moment spent in obscurity, it has all been an integral part of heaven's deliberate and loving design for your life. Within carefully secured chambers and private hotel suites, elite executives and brilliant legal strategists are actively gathering and focusing around your name. They are not operating on guesses or experiments. They are preparing with absolute certainty and purpose. Every word spoken in those meetings carries the profound weight of living prophecy. They fully understand the serious consequences of rushing something so sacred and divinely timed, and therefore they proceed with great care, wisdom, and patience. The celebrity at the heart of this divine alignment has remained completely firm and unwavering. In every discussion and meeting, you are never presented as a mere possibility or option. You are consistently recognized and affirmed as the definitive answer. In every private conversation, they speak not only of your natural talents and abilities, but even more of your remarkable resilience and character. They are fully aware that you have walked through intense storms and trials that would have completely overwhelmed and defeated others. They have carefully studied your journey of quiet growth, your unwavering integrity even under pressure, your consistent ability to endure and persevere without complaint or bitterness. They do not view your past challenges as weakness or failure. They see them as evidence of strength carefully forged and refined through intense fire. And it is precisely that proven strength that is now directly shaping confidential agreements and opening doors to generational opportunities. Heaven speaks clearly. Divine hands are actively weaving supernatural protection into every aspect of these plans. No force or scheme designed to sabotage you will ultimately succeed. Every hidden trap or attack set against you has already been exposed and rendered powerless. There is a powerful supernatural covering and shield over everything that is currently unfolding in your life. This is far more than ordinary business or career advancement. This is genuine kingdom movement orchestrated by God for eternal impact. Even now, as you draw your next breath, important alliances are forming in your favor. People you have never met personally, individuals possessing the ability to shape culture and influence nations are already actively working behind the scenes on your behalf. You do not yet know their names or faces, but they have clearly seen the divine vision concerning you, and they fully understand the magnitude of what is coming. When your name is finally revealed publicly, it will shock and surprise those who never saw or believed in your potential. A private jet has already been reserved specifically for your formal invitation and transition. No standard boarding pass will be necessary. This journey will not be a simple vacation or break. It will mark a profound transition into your God-ordained destiny. The chosen vessel of influence at the center of this has consistently refused other candidates for this role. Time and again, alternative options were presented, and every single time the answer remained firm. No, this one carries something uniquely different and irreplaceable. You have not been selected as a matter of convenience or fallback option. You have been chosen out of absolute divine necessity and purpose. A heavenly messenger proclaims clearly, though you may have felt unseen and unknown by the world, heaven has placed a powerful spotlight of favor and grace upon you. This extraordinary development is not the result of random chance or human networking. It is pure divine selection by God Himself. When the world finally hears and recognizes your name, even those who opposed or doubted you will be silenced, not out of fear, but out of undeniable reverence and awe at what God has done. Yes, some individuals already sense the coming ripple effect. Whispers have begun circulating in exclusive insider circles, and a degree of panic is starting to emerge, not because you have made any public moves yet, but because they intuitively know that your rise is imminent and unstoppable. Those who have built their positions on unstable or questionable foundations deeply fear what you carry within your spirit. They can sense the powerful wave forming on the horizon, and they know beyond doubt that they cannot prevent or stop it. Even now, elite security teams are being strategically deployed, not for dramatic effect, but for genuine protection and safety. Because whenever authentic truth emerges into the light, it always disrupts and challenges those who have grown comfortable in darkness or deception. This rise you are entering is not rooted in personal ego or self-promotion. It is centered completely on eternal impact and influence. It is about bringing glory not to yourself, but to God who orchestrated it all. This influential figure has not only made calculated strategic moves, they have also been intentionally creating space in their personal home, their daily life, and their entire world for what God is bringing. They fully understand that this decision will not merely alter your individual path. It will permanently intertwine your stories and destinies in profound ways. What began as careful strategy has now become enveloped in deeply sacred purpose. This is not about generating headlines or public attention. It is about fulfilling heaven's headline and plan on earth. A messenger proclaims heaven is filled with rejoicing. Angels have already been sent ahead to clear every obstacle from your path. And when you step confidently into this new assignment and season, blessings will overflow abundantly, not only upon you personally, but upon everyone connected to your faithful obedience and calling. The anointing and favor you carry is not selfish or limited. It is generational in scope and impact. The influence of this pivotal moment will ripple powerfully through family lines, through local communities, through entire nations. Time is steadily drawing closer. Each passing moment brings this divine appointment nearer to manifestation. Confidential contracts are already actively in progress, carefully delivered by trusted private couriers to be reviewed, signed, and officially sealed. Pages filled with profound legacy, unprecedented opportunity, and significant responsibility await your agreement. What once felt like frustrating delay is now accelerating beautifully at divine speed. And soon, much sooner than you may currently expect, you will receive a direct and personal message. It may appear quite ordinary in its delivery. A simple phone call, a handwritten letter, an unexpected email. But do not be deceived by its outward simplicity. That message will carry unmistakable divine weight and significance. It will swing open doors that have remained firmly closed and inaccessible for years, doors that your faithful prayers have been persistently knocking on in private. Within the private estate of your divine ally, extensive preparations continue. Lights are being carefully tested and adjusted. Detailed scripts reviewed and perfected, press briefings meticulously written, cameras positioned, and ready experienced reporters fully prepared and briefed. Yet they do not yet know your name publicly. But when they finally do, their only possible reaction will be profound realization. Of course, it had to be them all along. This will not be fleeting fame that quickly fades. This will not be temporary fortune that eventually disappears. This is a kingdom-sized blessing of enormous proportion, one that plants your feet firmly on solid, unshakable ground and causes your name to echo powerfully across generations to come. No force existing on earth or in hell will ever be able to uproot or destroy what God is sovereignly placing into your hands. And now receive this instruction clearly. Begin preparing yourself intentionally and diligently. You have prayed faithfully for breakthrough and elevation, but heaven never pours new blessing into chaotic or unprepared vessels. True destiny never rewards laziness, passivity, or lack of stewardship. It consistently honors faithful preparation and readiness. Start today to train and equip yourself for what you have been asking God to release. Develop strong discipline in every area. Acquire and master necessary skills. Cultivate the right mindset of humility, wisdom, and stewardship. The new level you are being elevated to requires mature stewardship and responsibility, not mere survival mentality. Remember the powerful example of Joseph, who was sold into slavery by his own brothers, betrayed deeply, and imprisoned unjustly for years. Yet every difficult moment served as divine training and preparation. When Pharaoh suddenly summoned him to the palace, Joseph was fully ready, not only to interpret dreams accurately, but to wisely manage and lead an entire nation through crisis. Genesis chapter 41, verse 41, records that Pharaoh said to Joseph, "I hereby put you in charge of the whole land of Egypt." That extraordinary promotion was not the result of one fortunate conversation or lucky break. It was the direct outcome of Joseph's faithful preparation and character development during long years of obscurity and trial. Do not wait passively until doors swing open to begin getting ready. Start preparing actively now, because those doors are already in the process of opening wide. Every morning moving forward, practice intentional readiness. Review and sharpen your skills consistently. Manage your personal finances with wisdom and discipline. Strengthen both your physical body and your inner spirit through healthy habits. For divine favor always seeks and flows toward vessels that are prepared, faithful, and ready to steward it well, rather than those who remain passive or unprepared. Your consistent diligence and excellence in daily life on earth serves as clear proof of your genuine faith in heaven's promises and timing. This is your appointed season of firm establishment, your season of increasing visibility, your season of undeniable divine recognition and favor. Every element of your personal story, your past experiences, your pain and growth through trials, your quiet perseverance when no one noticed, is now becoming the powerful foundation of your public platform and influence. You will rise to prominence not because of strategic connections or who knows you in high places, but because of your divine calling and God's choice. Not because of human networking or favor, but because of who sovereignly chose and prepared you. And he who began this good work in you will faithfully carry it through to complete fulfillment. Chosen one, come closer once more. What you are about to step into has been centuries in divine preparation and planning. You are entering the powerful fulfillment of a sacred script that was carefully written by God long before your name was ever mentioned in earthly rooms of power and influence. Right now, in locations you have never visited, among people you have never personally met, your name is being spoken with genuine honor and expectation in ways that only heaven could perfectly arrange. Inside highly secured private suites in exclusive boardrooms filled with billionaires, brilliant legal minds, and cultural visionaries, specific protective clauses are being carefully drafted not to restrict or control you in any way, but to safeguard what is profoundly sacred and divinely appointed. Every single word on those extensive pages is intentional and strategic. Every detail is covered with purposeful care and wisdom. Why such attention and protection? Because they fully recognize that your role is extraordinarily rare, deeply holy, and immensely impactful. Far too valuable to risk through any form of carelessness or haste. You are not being approached or treated like just another aspiring celebrity or public figure. You are being received with reverence as a prophetic answer and divine solution sent by God. World leaders from various nations, influential family dynasties, and globally iconic names are all actively preparing for your arrival, not because of any pretense or image you project, but because of who heaven has clearly declared and confirmed you to be from the beginning. This is not about chasing trends or temporary attention. This is entirely about God's perfect timing and sovereign purpose. The Archangel Michael says this represents a major divine turning point in your life. You are stepping confidently into seasons of abundance, extraordinary influence, and deeply sacred responsibility. Nothing and no one will be able to block or hinder what God has already firmly sealed and established. Even the celebrity's own family members, individuals who live behind layers of security and carefully guarded privacy, have been personally briefed and informed about you and your coming role. Behind their immense wealth and meticulously maintained public image, significant preparation is quietly taking place. They are not simply creating temporary space in their home. They are making permanent room in their entire life and world for you and what God is doing. Very soon, private rehearsals and preparations will commence in earnest. Magnificent stages are currently being designed and constructed. Professional cameras are being carefully positioned. Lighting is being tested and perfected for someone whose name has not yet been publicly revealed. And yet everyone involved behind the scenes is diligently preparing specifically for you. Powerful speeches are being carefully written and refined. Intricate choreographed introductions are being practiced and perfected. Symbols of deep honor and priceless gifts of immense value are being gathered and prepared not merely to impress or overwhelm you, but to genuinely affirm and confirm your anointed position in God's divine timeline. Make no mistake about this, the central figure in this entire divine orchestration has placed their entire reputation, influence, and legacy on the line for you and this vision. In exclusive boardrooms filled with doubt, questions, and resistance from others, they have stood boldly and unwaveringly like David facing Goliath, declaring firmly, "No one else will do. Only this one." Their deep conviction and stand has effectively silenced critics and generated unstoppable momentum that no opposing power can now halt or reverse. A voice from the heavenly courts thunders with authority. Prepare your heart and spirit fully. What is coming toward you is far beyond ordinary human comprehension or expectation. It is not simply a personal breakthrough or promotion. It is a complete divine unveiling of who you were always meant to be. Even now, as you draw your next breath in everyday life, heaven is actively aligning timelines, people, and resources with one singular holy objective: your complete elevation and establishment. This celebrity has not mentioned your name only once in passing. They have been repeatedly and intentionally speaking your name in key discussions that will never make public headlines, but are quietly yet powerfully changing the course of history. The lawyers deeply involved in these critical meetings have all committed to absolute confidentiality and secrecy. And yet heaven is graciously whispering these truths directly to you now, because the blessing coming your way will not be delayed or diminished by any lack of personal readiness on your part. You are being informed and prepared in advance so that you can receive and carry it with full clarity, confidence, and wisdom. Within those hidden chambers, they are already speaking about you as if you have fully stepped into your destined role. They describe your proven strength under pressure, your unwavering integrity, even in difficulty, your remarkable ability to positively shift any atmosphere simply through your authentic presence. They are not planning or preparing for mere potential or possibility. They are actively responding to and aligning with your clear divine calling and purpose. Advanced security clearances have already been processed and approved in your name. Necessary travel documents are being carefully arranged and prepared. A direct face-to-face meeting with the celebrity is actively being scheduled, not for public fanfare or photo opportunities, but for a private moment of profound destiny and alignment. It will not involve cameras flashing or crowds applauding. It will be a quiet yet deeply holy encounter when divine purpose looks you directly in the eyes and declares with certainty, "It is time." Heaven itself proclaims boldly, "This is not a temporary promotion or passing season. This is a permanent divine appointment carefully etched into heaven's eternal calendar." Nations around the world will continue speaking your name with respect long after this initial moment has passed, because God has sovereignly engraved it in spiritual gold. Top executives from massive global empires are already deeply involved in this process. They have thoroughly reviewed private dossiers and files detailing your life story, even though you never formally applied or submitted anything. You were not selected through human resume application or interview process. You were chosen through divine revelation and heavenly selection. Some individuals are actively resisting this decision. Some feel personally threatened by your coming rise. Some have even offered larger financial incentives, greater influence, or more attractive fame to be chosen instead. But the answer from the key decision-maker remains consistently firm and unchanged no. This one carries something completely unique and irreplaceable that no one else can offer. Now, unimaginable wealth and resources are being strategically transferred not as charity or handout, but as rightful reward and divine inheritance. Kingdom-level resources and blessings that span generations are being carefully aligned to ensure that when you rise to this new level, you remain established there permanently. This is not a temporary climb up an unstable ladder. It is a divine crowning and establishment by God Himself. Heaven speaks clearly. Your life will not simply experience minor shifts or adjustments. It will undergo complete and permanent transformation. One day soon, you will wake up in the morning, living what once felt like an impossible reality, surrounded by blessings and opportunities you once only dreamed about. This represents divine acceleration operating at full power. No merely human effort could ever move events this quickly or perfectly. Elsewhere, intensive rehearsals continue without pause. Names are being carefully practiced for smooth introduction. Potential headlines are being drafted and refined in advance. Professional broadcasters are diligently learning how to pronounce your name with the respect and reverence it deserves. Inspiring speeches are being carefully edited to properly reflect the full magnitude and significance of your unveiling. Celebrities and leaders from various industries have already committed their support and loyalty, not out of obligation or pressure, but out of genuine awe and recognition of what God is doing. What they have observed and discerned in you has stirred something profound deep within their own spirits, renewed hope and expectation. Even those who previously claimed disbelief in miracles will find themselves forced to reconsider when they witness yours unfold powerfully and undeniably. Their trusted inner circle has been specifically instructed to prepare your entrance with the honor and detail reserved for royalty. Extensive red carpet arrangements, exclusive private banquets, and carefully formed strategic alliances are all in progress. Nothing about this process will be casual or ordinary. Everything will carry deep, sacred meaning and purpose. Because this is not simply the launch of another public name or figure, it is the powerful rise of a divine assignment and calling that will impact eternity. The Spirit of the Lord declares boldly, the heavens are filled with joyful celebration. Angels have already been dispatched ahead of you to clear every remaining obstacle from your path. You will move forward surrounded by divine protection like never before in your life. And while all these preparations continue in the natural realm, something even greater and more powerful is actively stirring and moving behind the spiritual veil. Brilliant engineers, visionary architects, and creative professionals you have never met are already working diligently on your behalf, designing magnificent stages, rewriting and perfecting scripts, completely reimagining and crafting the powerful presentation of your story. Digital archives containing moments from your past times of failure, deep heartbreak, feelings of abandonment are being sovereignly redeemed and transformed. What once caused pain is now becoming your greatest source of power and influence. Every tear you shed in private silence is being turned into a compelling testimony that will awaken hope and faith in nations around the world. Your name will not simply be remembered casually. It will be revered and honored deeply, not because of personal accomplishment alone, but because of the manifest glory and anointing of God that rests powerfully upon you. In fact, the celebrity at the center has already recorded a private, heartfelt message, a personal video carefully sealed and preserved until the day of your official unveiling. In that recording, they speak directly and personally to you, not to any public image or persona, but to your true essence and spirit. They openly acknowledge that their own remarkable success would mean nothing if it did not align perfectly with God's divine will. And that divine will has led them unmistakably and directly to you. A messenger proclaims with authority, "Heaven's official seal has been permanently set upon your destiny." No demonic force, no critical voice, no spiritual principality or power can ever revoke or cancel what has already been signed, sealed and established in the eternal courts of heaven. Even now, the final countdown and preparation phase has officially begun. Specific dates have been marked in red on private hidden calendars. Major global events planned with precision, comparable to military operations, are scheduled to align perfectly with your public introduction. But you will not receive detailed, advanced notice in the natural realm. The spiritual trumpet will sound first in your heart. And when it does, your name will suddenly erupt and spread rapidly across every media platform and screen. Screens worldwide will flash with your story. Voices everywhere will rise in discussion. The entire atmosphere will shift noticeably. The same legal meeting where your name was first spoken will one day be remembered historically as the exact day when the direction of history turned decisively in your favor. Even lifelong skeptics, those who once rolled their eyes dismissively at your seasons of quiet struggle or silence, will suddenly fall silent. Not because they instantly become believers, but because they will witness something completely undeniable, the tangible, overwhelming favor and hand of God resting powerfully upon your life. They will be unable to rationally explain it away, but they will also be unable to ignore or deny its reality. The Archangel Michael proclaims with authority, "Prepare your spirit fully. Prepare your mind with wisdom. Prepare your heart with humility." Because when your name is finally spoken publicly with full announcement, the heavens themselves will roar in joyful agreement and celebration. This is your appointed hour. This is your divine moment, and you must step forward into it without any trace of fear or hesitation. This represents the kind of powerful movement that silences entire rooms, that momentarily pauses time itself, that permanently transforms systems and structures. Understand this deeply. You are not being elevated merely for personal applause or recognition. You are being strategically positioned for divine assignment and kingdom purpose. The influence you are about to receive and carry is not a personal trophy to display. It is a powerful tool for eternal impact, and the watching world will be closely observing what you choose to build and accomplish with it. The immense weight of this moment is not intended as a heavy burden to crush you. It is your sacred birthright and inheritance from God. Everything is perfectly synchronized and aligned. The lighting designs, the final signatures, the key individuals working behind the scenes, the midnight prayers being offered, all of it carefully timed by heaven's perfect clock. And now, chosen one, as the heavens prepare to sound the triumphant trumpet over your name in celebration, may you be found fully ready, deeply rooted in faith, authentically real in character, and completely surrendered to God's purpose. Because when God sovereignly writes your name into human history, it will never be merely to impress the watching world. It will always be to transform lives, restore hope, and bring eternal glory to His name. The unveiling has officially begun. Let the world see not only your name in lights, but the radiant light of the one who sent you with purpose. This is not the conclusion of your journey. It is the powerful beginning of your divine commission fully realized. You were hidden for protection. You were refined through fire. Now you are being revealed and established for such a time as this. Before we bring this message to its close, let us enter together into a sacred and powerful space of prayer. This is not merely a conclusion or afterthought. It is a divine coronation, a holy sealing of everything that has been revealed and promised. Open your heart completely now, chosen one. Allow the words that follow to move beyond mere sentences and become the very voice of heaven, wrapping protectively and empoweringly around your destiny. Heavenly Father, Almighty and everlasting God, we approach your throne now with holy reverence and deep awe, fully aware of the immense weight and eternal significance of this moment. We do not come lightly or casually, for we sense profoundly that this is sacred, holy, and eternal, set firmly in the courts of heaven, written with ink, that will never fade, decreed by your sovereign voice that never returns empty or unfulfilled. Father, we thank you with overflowing gratitude for the powerful divine revelation you have spoken so clearly over the life of your beloved child who is receiving this message right now. This is not empty hype or exaggeration. This is genuinely holy. This is not random coincidence. This is unbreakable covenant promise. You have declared through your messenger, the Archangel Michael, that this is the long-appointed hour, the unveiling, the coronation, the powerful rise of one. You have hidden and prepared for such a time as this. Lord, you are the same God who chose young David, while others focused on more outwardly impressive candidates like Saul. You are the God who called Gideon a mighty warrior, while he hid in fear and doubt. You looked upon Esther and saw not a forgotten orphan, but a queen destined to intercede and save an entire nation. In that same perfect divine wisdom and selection, you have looked upon this one often unseen by many, misunderstood by most, and declared with authority. You are ready, you are chosen, you are mine. We seal this powerful moment in unwavering faith. Lord, activate now the mantle and anointing that has rested upon them, perhaps dormant until this season. Let it awaken fully with fresh authority and power. Let it ignite with new fire and anointing. Let the fresh oil of heaven fall abundantly over their head in this very moment. Consecrate their thoughts completely. Sanctify their words and speech. Purify their motives and intentions. Align every future step they take with your perfect instruction and guidance. Father, as their name is spoken in exclusive boardrooms and secured permanently in important contracts, may your great name be glorified in every room they enter and every space they occupy. Let their growing influence never become empty or self-serving. Let their voice never echo with pride or arrogance. Let their rise never drift into rebellion against you. We bind and break every spirit of sabotage that would attempt to interfere. We cancel every curse or negative word ever spoken against them in secret. We shatter every generational chain or pattern that would try to attach itself to this blessing. No weapon formed against them shall prosper in any way. We call upon the mighty hosts of heaven to stand guard continually. Let angels encamp protectively around their dwelling and path. Let divine favor go before them like a guiding pillar of cloud by day and protective pillar of fire by night. May their influence reach and impact nations, but may their heart remain forever tethered to the cross of Christ. Holy Spirit be their constant strategist and guide. Jesus be their unshakable anchor and example. Father be their master architect and protector. We specifically pray for the celebrity you have used as a key vessel in this divine arrangement. Cover them with wisdom and discernment. Surround them with absolute clarity of purpose. Let their motives remain pure and aligned with your will. We pray for every leader, every executive, every gatekeeper, and every influential person involved in this process. May they not see mere fame or opportunity, but may they clearly recognize and honor divine fire and purpose. Let their hands move only as heaven directs and empowers. Lord, for every resource currently being released, financial, relational, and influential, let it be stewarded with excellence, wisdom, and generosity. For every property investment platform and opportunity being placed in their hands, may it be used faithfully to break chains in lives, build altars of worship, and advance your kingdom. We do not seek mere worldly wealth. We desire true kingdom wealth that lasts eternally. We do not seek fleeting fame. We seek consistent faithfulness that honors you. God, we lift to your throne the memory of countless quiet nights spent in prayer, the many prayers that seemed unanswered for seasons, the tears cried in private when no one else was present to comfort. We remember the ridicule faced, the deep betrayals endured, the moments when giving up felt tempting. We bring all of it to your altar now, not as sources of shame or regret, but as powerful testimony of your faithfulness. What was once pain is now undeniable proof of your sustaining grace. Let every scar become shining gold in their story. Let every delay declare your perfect timing. Let every season of silence reveal the beauty of your sovereign voice. Lord, as this one prepares to enter rooms where destinies are shaped and history is written, let them walk boldly yet humbly clothed, not in ego or self-promotion, but in divine elegance, grace, and power. And let them speak with a tongue touched by holy fire from your altar. Let their eyes see people and situations as you see them. Let their hands build only what you bless and anoint. We declare in faith this is not the rise of another fleeting celebrity. This is the unveiling of a true reformer and kingdom builder. This is not the launch of just another name. This is the launch of an enduring legacy that will echo through generations. This is not about seeking human spotlight. It is completely about faithful stewardship of divine calling. We release by faith every divine appointment waiting to be activated in their life. We open wide every door that has been sovereignly scheduled to swing open. We call forth every God-ordained alliance, every prepared investor, every necessary resource, and every divinely assigned protector already positioned for this journey. We declare complete alignment with your will. We declare fresh authority released. We declare supernatural abundance flowing. Heavenly Father, the world may not be ready for what you are doing, but your child is through your grace and preparation. Let holy fire fall afresh. Let the spiritual trumpet sound clearly. Let your glory rise powerfully in and through their life. In the matchless, powerful name of Jesus Christ, the one who opens doors no man can shut, the one who was and is to come. We say yes, we say amen, we say, let it be so according to your perfect will. Amen. Thank you for remaining faithfully with me until this sacred and powerful conclusion. If you felt this prayer resonate deeply in your spirit, if something powerful stirred and awakened within you as you received it, do not let the moment pass without response. Share openly in the comments what you felt and experienced. Let your agreement and faith be clearly seen and declared. Let your spiritual activation be known. Make sure to subscribe immediately and turn on notifications so you never miss the next timely prophecy, truth, or destiny revelation prepared specifically for you. Until we connect again, stay deeply grounded in faith, freshly anointed by the Spirit, and fully ready in your preparation. The heavens have spoken your name with eternal purpose, and it continues echoing with power. The unveiling has officially begun.